Perumal Swami was a rough-edged boulder with a robust body and a tough demeanor. He came to Bhagwan in Virupaksha cave in 1914. He was well known in Tiruvannamalai town and had many wealthy friends. Perumal Swami could have lived very affluently even as a sadhu because his friends would have looked after him very well. The first meeting with Bhagwan left him awestruck. He accepted Bhagwan as his guru and chose to beg for him in the streets of Tiruvannamalai. He prevented many untoward things from happening to Bhagwan. Once, when he and Perumal Swami had gone to town, leaving Bhagwan alone in the cave, a group of fierce-looking Bairagi sadhus arrived with swords and spears. They said, "We are from the Podigai hills, the kingdom of the Siddhas. The head of the Siddhas told us that there is a ripe soul in Arunachala who needs the final initiation. He commanded us to bring you there. Whether you accept it or not, we are going to physically remove you to the Podigai hills." Bhagwan sat silently, unmoved. Some of the shepherd boys heard the commotion and rushed to report to Perumal Swami. He ran back to Virupaksha cave and in one look sized up the situation. He told the Bairagis, "I come from a nearby village. Last night I had a dream in which the chief Siddhas of the Podigai hills appeared and said, 'My disciples will be coming to Virupaksha cave tomorrow. Go there and ready a cauldron of oil. Fry them in that cauldron and bring their fried bodies to me.' Then he ordered the shepherd boys, 'Hey, go and bring the firewood. I will go into town and bring a cauldron and some tins of oil so that we can fry these people.' The Bairagis fled, and that was the end of the story." Perumal Swami had the managerial qualities that Perumal Swami did not. However, being a forceful man had its drawbacks. When Bhagwan's mother came to stay at Virupaksha cave, Perumal Swami disliked it and shouted, "Get out, you cannot stay here." Though deeply hurt, she obeyed. Tucking her one sari or so in a bundle under her arm, she walked out sadly. Bhagwan, who was seated outside, got up, took the bundle from her with tender affection and said, "Come, let us go away from where we are not needed." Perumal Swami fell at Bhagwan's feet and requested them to stay. When Bhagwan went to Skandhashram, Perumal Swami also went along. Among Bhagwan's attendants, there was one Yalpani from Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka was also known as Yalpanam, and so he was called Yalpani. He was a scrupulous, clean person. He would sweep Skandhashram daily and keep everything spick and span. His reputation was equally spotless. Whenever Bhagwan returned to Skandhashram and leaves were scattered about, he would ask, "Is Yalpani not here?" Once, Yalpani spread a paste of cow dung on the rough, soft earth of Skandhashram to make the ground smoother and harder. When Perumal Swami, who was like the manager of Skandhashram, came and saw it still wet and slippery, he became livid and shouted, "Yalpani, get out of Skandhashram." Yalpani was a very sincere devotee of Bhagwan. He could not leave Bhagwan but also wanted to obey the orders of the manager. Being a clever man, he tried to find a way out. Inside Skandhashram was a tall coconut tree that protruded outside its grounds. He quickly climbed to the top of the tree and stayed there. Now he was technically out of Skandhashram without leaving it. Everyone pleaded with him to come down, but he refused. At lunch, Bhagwan noticed that Yalpani was missing. The other devotees then related what had happened. Bhagwan got up, went to the coconut tree and gently said, "Yalpani, why not come down and share the food?" He spoke so softly that this man came down like a child and started eating his food. Another day, Bhagwan was heard saying, "I had a notebook in which I had written some verses. A person from Uttarkashi has taken it but has not returned it. It is several months now. I needed that notebook." Yalpani disappeared for many days. He went to Uttarkashi, got the notebook back from that person and presented it to Bhagwan. Bhagwan was very happy. Yalpani told the other devotees that it had taken him several days without a minute's rest to fulfill his guru's wish. That was the one-pointed devotion he had for Bhagwan. There was another sadhu living at Skandhashram called Sepoy Swami. Sepoy means soldier, and he was called so because he was a retired army man. He was therefore habituated to military etiquette. Very devoted to Bhagwan, he expressed his devotion by guarding Bhagwan as he felt it was his duty to be Bhagwan's bodyguard. Whenever Bhagwan was in Skandhashram, Sepoy Swami would come with a long stick that was supposed to be his rifle and stand in attention next to Bhagwan. Every minute that Bhagwan was there, he would stand guard silently, not looking at anybody else and completely immersed in meditation. One day, Perumal Swami was vexed with him and shouted, "What are you doing? Are you enacting some drama here? Get out of Skandhashram." This man wanted to obey but could not leave Bhagwan. Therefore, he stood outside Skandhashram guarding Bhagwan from there, just as he had been doing from within its walls. Some days later, he felt that Bhagwan was not properly honored. To Sepoy Swami, his master was the sovereign monarch of the whole universe who people were not honoring appropriately. His feeling of reversion led him to decide that Bhagwan must have horses. He went home, sold all his property, bought some horses and brought them to Skandhashram. As he did not know how to maintain them, the horses died one after the other in the course of time. If you don't go into the logic of it, you will admire the devotion of poor Sepoy Swami. Though Perumal Swami disliked Bhagwan's mother, when she passed away in 1922, he helped carry her body to the present-day Ramanashramam. After placing the body down, he went into town and got all the things necessary for building her samadhi. However, when Bhagwan began staying there in a simple thatched shed over the tomb of the mother, Perumal Swami did not like it, and he also intensely loathed Bhagwan's younger brother Niranjanananda Swami, Chinna Swami. When the management of Ramanashramam was handed over to Chinna Swami, he stoutly opposed it. He went to court, filed a suit against Bhagwan, and tried to drag him to court. He even created a statue of Bhagwan, started another Ramanashramam in town, and proclaimed it the real one. Further, he declared himself the secretary of this institution. However, Chinna Swami was the secretary of the original Ramanashramam. Whenever the mail arrived, there was always a tug-of-war in the town post office. Then Bhagwan solved it very simply. He said, "Let all the letters go to Perumal Swami. Whatever he wants to take, let him take, and whatever he does not want, let us take. Where is the need to quarrel?" When Perumal Swami was thus frustrated and agitated by Bhagwan's response, Bhagwan sent word through Kunju Swami, "Tell Perumal Swami that he should not swerve from spiritual sadhana." Perumal Swami did not listen, but Bhagwan never gave up on him. When he lost the court case, he felt humbled and soon fell ill. He sent word to Bhagwan, "Bhagwan, I want to come and apologize. I have committed a sin." The rest of the people in the ashram said, "No, he is the person who went against you, Bhagwan. He should not be allowed to come inside." When Bhagwan heard this, he said, "Why do you say so? He may have created trouble, filing court cases and so on, but we should think of the old days. He served me so devotedly when I was on the hill. Let him come." When Perumal Swami came, everyone looked at him with acid eyes. He broke down before Bhagwan and said, "Bhagwan, I have committed a terrible sin. I will surely go to hell." Bhagwan smiled at him and said, "Will I not be with you even there?" That was a turning point for Perumal Swami. He chose a small cave near Seshadri Swami Ashram and started living there in meditation and contemplation. Even after Bhagwan dropped the body, he felt he must have prasad from Ramanashramam. So Kunju Swami used to bring rice and rasam from Ramanashramam for Perumal Swami twice a day. That is how Bhagwan took care of him. He may have been a rough-edged rock, but Bhagwan took care of him. We can be sure that he too was absorbed back into Arunachala, the divine stillness.